Can't trust you, then, you're a reporter.
All right, moving on to board comments. I'll start with Mr. Scott.
Figures. Okay. Yes. Sorry I wasn't here last. No, I was on vacation. Mr. Superintendent, saw you put in the newsletter that we're getting 2 warehouses.
That was based on the meeting that Mrs. DeLong attended.
Can you give me when
They
does
didn't
all
give any
this?
timelines. They just gave the location of the 2. I didn't bring my notes with me, so I can't remember where they were. Like, I remember is Woods Drive one of the places, and then there was somewhere else. In the
Is it fact or fiction? Fact or fiction? Fiction. Yes. Fact or fiction?
I believe it's fact because they talked about it at the township meeting. So the borough, it was like joint borough township meetings.
But this is the first time. Have we been going to those meetings? Do you know?
This is the first time I've been invited, to my knowledge. I was aware of one from another meeting in Franklin County.
I know that.
This new one is.
So I'm just trying to bring the magnitude of the growth of the district. We've asked, I think I know Mike has, and we've asked for a plan. Where's the district going to be for 5 to 10 years from now? I still like to see that plan, to know where we're going to be, what we want to need. Because until you told us about this, and you just said you just got it, we haven't had the fact or a factual thing about the school district getting larger.
Right. So our enrollment updates, Mr. Scott, will be coming in October. So that will give us a picture of what the projections based on these kind of housing developments are. And so we'll know where we are. Currently, we're working the plan that we have for the bubble, going through hitting SACE now, and then we're going to have to learn we're going to have to look at the middle school. But 4 years.
But the fact is, I want to know an idea or an estimate of what the school district going to look in 5 years.
I can't hear you, Fred.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd like an estimate of what the school district going to be in 5 years. You said, I thought we were paying somebody to keep to oversee our estimate of the building.
If you're talking about enrollment, Fred, we absolutely are, and we'll get that report in October.
But
we're looking for. He's talking about looking for a projection. Is that what you're looking for? A projection, 5-year projection?
Yeah, projection, because the assistant superintendent had to go to a meeting to find out.
So there's twofold. I mean, I think to your point is everything that goes through those is not necessarily going to happen. The projections that we get from PEA go out several years. I shared that with the board. It goes out, for the next 10 years at least. So we have that. We will update that based on the information that's taking place at these meetings to come up with new projections in October for our enrollment. So we have the best possible picture we've ever had of our enrollment at this point. That will be updated in October based on communications that our school does with local municipalities to see what types of housing and how much are coming in. So we will know that in October, Fred. They've already reached out to the borough to gather that information. So that process has already started.
We have 5 townships. I mean.
They reach out to all 5.
Okay, but facilities-wise, are we going to have enough facilities in 5 years? I'm about the enrollment. You said enrollment's going to. I want to know, do we have facilities to accept that expansion?
The only question, Fred, is what will we need to do at the middle school? Okay,
that's for next year, right? The bubble.
No, so the bubble is entering SACE.
Okay.
We've added a teacher and reclaimed a classroom space there. Okay. The next year, we have additional classroom space there. There's 4 possible areas that have been identified. We're taking one of them this year. Next year, we're going to take, pending board approval of an additional teacher at that level, whether that's a transfer or a new hire. Mrs. Mowry and I identified space at the building, so that classroom can go in there. That will guide that bubble through SACE. When it gets to the middle school, we're going to have to look at some sort of we're going to have to evaluate where and how we deal with that bubble.
I understand you keep talking, I don't understand the bubble because I've been here for 5 years and we've had bubbles before.
Right, but this is a 3-year bubble, Fred. If you remember, currently they finished in first, second, and third grade.
Yeah.
Okay, the third graders are hitting SACE. In 2 years, they're going to be passing through SACE, and they're going to be hitting the middle school. So we really have 4 to 6 years before that bubble gets. It's really 4 years before that bubble gets to the middle school in numbers. So it is right for us to begin those discussions. We've dealt with the immediate issue. This board has supported the expansion of elementary positions to deal with that bubble. When that bubble hits the middle school, we're going to have continue to reevaluate.
And you say in 4 years the bubble, it'll be over? It'll be in high school?
It's matriculating through our system, Fred. So it's going, that bubble is going to work its way through SACE, it's going to work its way through the middle school, and it's going to eventually land in the high school, okay? We won't know until the school year starts what our kindergarten numbers are, okay? And we will get updated enrollment information in October to help us plan moving forward, okay? So far, as I shared in my update to the board, we are tracking, Power School gives a moderate and a conservative projection. Current numbers indicate that we are tracking towards the conservative side of those projections, almost like within 1 or 2 students per grade level. So I'm feeling pretty confident about what's on the page there. Kindergarten will be the rubber meeting the road when we actually see what numbers show up. And then in October, we get the evaluations from the municipalities of new housings coming in, okay?
But we did, I think what we want to make sure we do, so that we can keep talking about it, is they got the information. Who actually went out and got the information from the borough? Was that Power School themselves, or?
Yeah, they communicate with them directly when sometimes, they ask me to intervene if they don't get the information in a timely manner.
I guess my question is, can we get can we get them to seek out the townships as well and then provide that information?
Yeah, that's all part of the package.
Not in October. Can they do it sooner than later?
I don't.
About it at the meeting, the Power School had reached
I mean,
out.
don't they do it every year, right?
Yeah.
And
So I mean, this is
so
their
we got-
timeline, Fred.
We got our last, we got our first projection, right, last October, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so they'll update that this coming October,
It wasn't right.
right? I mean,
Yes.
so that seems pretty reasonable to me. Like,
So they reach out.
year, we get a new, sort of update, a new projection looking forward 10 years, right?
Didn't we get it?
We're concerned, I think all of us, that if we like delay, then all of a sudden, if we don't pull the trigger or figure out what we're, do a projection, that by the time we can get something done, we may have just completely blown it and not be able to get it done. That's why we keep asking, how.
I don't think I can ask them to move their timeline, because they gather the data and then they have to work their math magic with it to see what the projections are, and then compare that with what our current situation is. So it takes some time to gather the information, and then it takes time for them to analyze it and create the reports.
Okay.
I understand. I don't want to beleaguer the statement. I see all these school districts around here preparing with buildings, setting money aside for buildings. I got an idea what students' population going to be. And I know we get students other than kindergarten through the school year. We've been told that.
Yeah.
We've shown that.
Fred, we've already done that work. Our class size numbers in the schools are reasonable. The board has added those positions. Would we like more space there? Yes. Is it mission critical? No. I think through the facilities committees, if we want to pick a path forward with some sort of major project at SACE, those are the decisions we're going to have to make. Okay, but right now, the priority is the rising second, third, and fourth grade classes that are over 300 students. Everywhere else in the system, we're okay. All right. And so, like, that's the piece that is moving through.
I understand that for you, the bubble is critical, and I understand that's right now. But I don't want the next board or boards after me be in the situation that we're in.
Yep.
With adding,
I understand, Frank.
adding rooms to buildings that should have been built.
I think those conversations will be better informed in October. We'll know what kindergarten is, and we'll get our projections. And then we'll be able to tell whether it's a bubble, whether those 3 bands of grades are a true bubble, just a bubble by themselves, or our new reality.
Okay. Hey, Mike, go ahead.
Is that it, Mr. Scott? All right, Mr. Carey?
Yeah, nothing much. Just it's hard to picture what that countertop looked like. That's why I come in a few minutes early to go look at it. I just suggest if you don't know what you're looking at, go look at it. It's not a big deal. I know we argue over millions of dollars, and this is a few thousand saved if you take what you can get. Wherever it lands, but it's right up the hall and on the left, and it makes a lot more sense when you walk in there and you look at it and make a decision.
Mr. Kressler?
First thing, and Mrs. Weber's not here, but how are we looking, Mr. August, in terms of filling of positions? And I know summertime's always busy, and we have been like A+ compared to, I feel like, every district around us in terms of, filling spots before the year.
I would say that the HR department is running hot.
Yeah.
Getting everything filled. We're getting word of some unexpected vacancies that we'll have to fill. But I've not had any crisis calls from Mrs. Weber at this point. But I will continue to check in with her.
Perfect. Other than that, few things. So Leo's not here tonight, so I get some of my thunder back. The first thing was, I know that the last day of school is when we had sports physicals for student athletes. I think we had like 135 kids who showed up. And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe as a board we waived that fee a year ago, 2 years ago. So that was 135 kids that were able to get their sports physical done that's required by the PIAA for them to participate, that they didn't have to pay anything. So with that being said, we have more than 135 kids who participate in athletics. And I would just encourage people to check the website, the athletic website, for information. There is information on there. Just today, I didn't know when the winter sports season started, and I found out by just checking the website. The information is all right there for me, and I'm Googling and asking AI to tell me answers, and I can't find it, and it's all right there. So a lot of good information is there. Like, for instance, fall sports paperwork, if you want to play a fall sport, is due July 28th. So don't be shocked, student athletes, when you show up like beginning of August and you're late. So that's all I have.
Dr. Coates?
Nothing, thanks.
Mr. Noggle?
Nothing.
Dr. Lyman?
Nothing.
Mrs. DeLong?
No, thank you.
Mr. Barwin, you got anything?
Nothing, thanks.
Mr. August?
I think I've said enough tonight.
All right. I guess I would just want to get something moving with the Franklin County Learning Center. I don't know if that requires, whatever, fellow board members think, if a committee is needed to be structured for that, or if we can just have a discussion opportunity as a whole board, but to get something moving. It's better to make decisions sooner than later on those types of issues. I would say if anybody is interested in getting a committee together, I would get a hold of Steph or Bill, see if there's something there for that. And then seems to be a lot of discussion around planning for our district, 5-year outlook. Again, that's another opportunity for committees. Like, we've kind of restructured our committees here recently, and have yet to really assign any tasks. So, board members that are interested, I would encourage them to reach out to Steph and Bill and see if we can put something together and get a better understanding of where we're headed even if it isn't immediate, if it waits till October, but at least get some board members to have a better understanding of where we're at and where we're heading. I think that would be a proactive approach to some big decisions we'll have to make. I think that's everything. So information, date savers, July 14th, committee of the whole meeting, planning action, board meeting. And meeting adjourned.